Sci-fi divides opinion among the masses more than anything else in the industry. It's a tough genre to write about and brings about lots of talking points, no matter how well executed the story has been. Resident Alien, a sci-fi comedy show, has been well received, which is hardly a surprise because it has an engaging plot. Despite the success, it has lacked in maintaining its appeal through season 2. Let's dive into Resident Alien plot holes that make no sense. Before we get into the plot holes, it is important to understand a bit of the story to try and make sense of the plot holes. Although if you haven't seen the show, you should probably avoid watching this because it will have a bunch of spoilers. So the show is basically about an alien played by the talented Alan Tudyk who crash lands on Earth and has a mission to destroy life on Earth. Things get complicated, as expected, after his crash landing in the small town of Patience, Colorado, and Alan Tudyk takes on the identity of a vacationing physician, Harry, after killing him. He struggles with a moral dilemma regarding his mission and is fascinated with the human race. And thanks to Tudyk's fantastic portrayal, makes this a great watch. There are many layers to the plot, and this is a major issue as if it couldn't have been handled with a simpler plot. In addition to all of this, 9-year-old Max can see through Harry's disguise and can see the green glow of alien technology, and Harry keeps trying to kill the kid. First, we have Harry's new abilities. We should probably start with the biggest plot twist, and also the most recent one. It's an incredibly frustrating plot hole, as fans of the show have pointed out, and it comes in line with how underwhelmingly the second season of the show has progressed. Season 2 revealed that Harry had gained additional power that he'd never seen before. The extra powers were a pretty decent idea to build the story around, but the show continued to be inconsistent with its first season. Harry now can shapeshift and erase memories, and this leaves a lot of unanswered questions. In the third episode of the second season, it's revealed towards the end that Harry has indeed altered the memories of people in the town. He did so by creating a fake memory of the investigation being carried out by an FBI agent who takes over the case and reveals that Harry is not the killer. Now that's a wonderful skill to have, but only if the writing was just as wonderful. Some people on the internet were quick to defend the twist by saying that Harry found the silver alien balls from the ship and that may have given him the powers in season 2, but that's not true. This is because Asta asks Harry that question that has been bothering all of us. How come Harry didn't erase her memory when she found out that he was an alien? Because I am not alone anymore. Aw, no, sorry, but that's just lazy writing. Not to mention Harry's unnecessary bragging that his people are actually really good at erasing memories, and his admission reveals that he had the ability to do so in the first season as well. This leaves a series that started with so much promise with a rather bad taste. We do have another explanation, because we are clutching at straws here, trying to save this show. It's debatable, but we might be doing a better job than some other people. So the explanation suggests that it may not have been possible for Harry to change the memories of a large number of people, and while aliens might be good at doing so, it might be more complex. Maybe Harry can only do it to one person at a time. Makes sense, right? Consequently, this would have required him to chase people around, changing their memories and ensuring that he gets to everyone without news breaking out of an alien being around. It's a highly reasonable theory, and we really hope that it is, but Harry has, time and time again, showed that he is a very smart creature, and it's just not possible that he lost control of his abilities. Plus, there's also the appeal factor. Harry's struggle in maintaining his human alibi was part of the magic that captured a larger audience in the first season. It was also influential in building his relationship with Asta, and if you take that away, it makes the show lose some appeal. It just feels like the writers decided to take on this approach only after season 1, and that should lead to additional plot holes as the show progresses on and on, unless they have something up their sleeve. Now we have the confusing season 1 finale. If you remember watching the season 1 finale when the story was quite delightful, you may have overlooked a potential plot hole. For a show that should probably have 30-minute episodes, seems to be short on time for some reason. That too, in the finale? It's so confusing. They missed out on key details in the finale as the scene jumped from everyone in town to suddenly Harry, Asta, and Max on the spaceship. The writers may have been hard done by this because initially the show was supposed to have 3 additional episodes, so there's a possibility that they had to squeeze the plot of 3 episodes into one, and that can lead to such blunders. However, there are lots of details they could have skipped rather than missing out on some fundamental plot lines that will remain relevant in the seasons to come. For instance, how exactly does Harry find out where the ship is being held? How do Max and Asta arrive on the ship? What happens to the couple that is following Max? It just adds to the mystery, and a bit of explanation could have gone a long way. Yes, Harry has fixed the ship, and that should explain how he knows where it is, and Max knows where the base is too, but how do Max and Asta end up in a government facility in another state? These are important turns of events that need to be shown to help understand the story. Next, continuity issues. While these are slightly different from plot holes, they do ruin the essence of a show. You don't even need a second rewatch to get these right. Come on. If you remember the opening monologue, Harry mentions the 4 soda cans that exploded in his truck. Minutes later, the camera cuts to the interior of the truck and there's no soda residue or the cans. Not to mention the schoolboy error when Harry points out to Asta that Sam stabbed himself as there was no blood on his palm from holding the scalpel. He proceeds to lift Sam's left hand, but the flashback shows Sam stabbing himself with his right hand. There were many more, but did you guys notice any? And then we have Harry's explanations and knowledge gaps. This one is the funniest. We don't know if it is a plot hole or the writers got lost in their imaginations, but let's get right into it, and maybe later you guys can point out if there was a possible explanation to this one. So remember the scene when Harry is explaining how he can change his appearance? Yeah, well, he says that he reconstructs molecules that help him change his appearance. If this is somehow true, then no one would be able to see him. And if humans were able to see through molecular structures, then we wouldn't see anything but simply space. We were all quite bad at physics, but someone here might be worse. Throughout the show, we've seen that Harry knows how to surf the internet for pizza restaurants, parking congestions, quotes from Neil Armstrong, etc. He's a genius, but for some reason he just does not know what alcohol can do. There's a knowledge gap here somewhere, but because the first season was funny, we can decide to overlook it. And then there's too many subplots. Even watching through the pilot, you feel that the story was a little too complicated at times. The show is saved thanks to Tudyk's ability to explore the realms of possibilities of playing an alien in a human's body, and he goes all the way. It's quite funny to see as Tudyk discovers chewing, the way he differs in a crowd, and of course his superb voice acting skills and abilities. We haven't even been properly introduced to Harry, the alien, and the complicated story is already forming webs around us. Look, nobody's doubting the imagination of the writers. They are good at improvisation, but the show has kind of fallen from where it was during its first season, and while the new powers were surprising enough, the writing gets lazier the deeper you look into each plot hole and continuity issue. Harry's looking for his ship in the first season while trying to kill a kid and avoiding the suspicion of people in local law. However, the writers managed to introduce so many subplots that the resident alien becomes less and less important as the show goes on, and as viewers, you tend to struggle with concentration. When they do kill off characters, they end up killing the octopus? Seriously? We might be biased, but killing the octopus was a horrible move. Everyone loved that character. That's a wrap for this video. Do you agree with our assessments about Resident Alien's plot holes and continuity issues? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.